Gonna be a little louder.
Ready.
Ready?
Yep. What's happening there, y'all? Out there in quarantine land. How y'all feeling out there, man? Y'all alright? I know y'all alright. We gonna be alright. Yes, sir. Welcome to the very first ever Starchildjr Stuff and Things podcast. But we gonna talk about all types of stuff and things. You know why? Because we got nothing better to do. I ain't got nothing better to do. I ain't got no shows. I got nothing going on. I'm just sitting here. So I figure, why not connect with the people? You know what I mean? Because we gonna get each other through. You know what I'm saying? I'm an entertainer, right? So that's what I do. I'm gonna keep on entertaining, man. You're not gonna stop me from entertaining. You can close the venues if that's what you want to do. But the wonderful internet has made it possible for us to still entertain you anyway. So that's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? Because if we can't entertain, then we might as well not be here. You know what I mean? That's how we feel about it. That's how passionate we are about entertaining y'all. So, you know, and that's what's gonna get us through this thing. So we're not gonna stop. So welcome to the first podcast. Thank y'all for joining me. If y'all are joining me through YouTube, I hope y'all have subscribed. But if you are looking at me through YouTube, then I would prefer that at some point you guys make sure you go pay a visit to thefunkstar.com and subscribe there. That's my website. You can also catch this podcast live right there from thefunkstar.com right now if you want to. But whatever your preference is, man, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your preference, go ahead and go with it. It's all good. I'm not mad at you. I got my man DJ Lance Reynolds producing this thing for me. That's who's playing the sounds in the background. Y'all give it up for him. Y'all can catch him anywhere online at DJ Lance Reynolds. So y'all go check out my man, bro. So I figured this first podcast, since everybody's stuck in the house, man, everybody's got the quarantine blues and everything, I figured why not deal with the Rona. Let's talk about the Rona, man. You know, the Rona ain't playing no games with us, man. This shit is kind of fucked up, man. You know what's fucked up about the Rona, man? What's fucked up about the Rona is, first and foremost, it just kind of came on like out of nowhere. Like just a month ago, we was outside, we was doing our thing. I was in California, I was at NAMM, I was in California a lot. And then all of a sudden it was like lockdown, don't go nowhere, everybody stay in the house, don't go to work. But this is the thing about it though. You know what? I look at it like this. When y'all had to go to work, you was itching for some days off. Now you got days off. So, you know, why not? Let's take this time to get to know ourselves a little better. Let's look at the man in the mirror. Maybe we might want to make that change like Michael Jackson used to say. I don't know how y'all feel about that. You might be cool with yourself as you are. So if you are, then, you know, fuck it. You know what I mean? Just lay low regardless. Because that's the safe thing to do. So, but on the subject of this Rona, I'm going to tell y'all what's really the most scariest thing about the Rona for me, man. The fucking scariest thing about the Rona for me. Oh shit, I fucked it up. Yeah, there it is. That guy right there. And let me tell you something. That picture right there, I chose that picture of that guy for a reason. Let me tell you why I chose that picture. Because that picture right there, that's all his presidency right there rolled up into one picture for me. As a matter of fact, that picture right there, that's my face every time I see this motherfucker on the screen talking, man. I'm just like, would you shut the fuck up, you motherfucker? He gets on my nerves, man. I'm telling you, I can't stand this dude. You know why I can't stand him, man? I can't stand him because not only is he incompetent, he's crass, he's fucking callous, and he only gives a shit about one thing. Like, I've been watching every press briefing that this dude has done, you know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you this, prior to this Rona, this dude for me, for 3.5 years up to this point, I ain't gonna lie, this dude for me, he's been more like this. This is what he's been for me. He's been like the perfect, like, you know what he is? If there was a movie made about this shit, he's like the perfect villain. You know why? Because he's like for me, he's like the perfect cross of Darth Vader and Dr. Evil for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just like the right part evil and dastardly and the right part comical for me. That is just, you know, I sometimes I don't know whether to fucking laugh or be scared or what I'm supposed to do, but yeah, that's that dude for me, man. He scares the shit out of me. And what fucks me up is despite all of this shit, like I said, I've watched every press briefing. This motherfucker, I haven't seen him. He's not even like sad. You know what I mean? Like, these numbers of deaths, man, are just like going up daily, like double, triple. Fucking motherfucker. New York is losing 700 people a day right now, and he's up here talking about he's talking about his ratings at these press briefings. He's up here berating every reporter that ask him a legitimate question and shirking all responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason we should have 500,000. There's 500,000 people here that have this shit, and that's with only 1% of the testing. So we don't even really know that we know there's 500,000 motherfuckers out here. It's probably fucking 3 million motherfuckers out here with that shit right now. You know what I mean? But you hear him tell it, you got nothing to fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, hear this motherfucker tell it, you got nothing to fear, man. But I'm fucking scared. But I tell you what, you know what I'm saying? He don't want us to be scared. He's got his dream team together, man. You see what I'm saying? Look at this here. Look at this here. Now, that doesn't calm your fears. That doesn't calm my fears either. You know, I'll tell you what. At this whole crew right here, there's 3 legit doctors here, right? There's 3 legit doctors here. You got Miss Dr. Burks. Dr. Burks, now, she decided she decided to be a toady in the beginning, so she kind of fucked up all credibility with me. But she decided to come back to earth when she realized how serious this shit was. But now you got the Surgeon General up here. I don't know if y'all heard him today, but he wants y'all to stop smoking, especially African Americans. Now you see now this brother happens to be brown himself. Now we've been finding out the last few days, lo and behold, it's our areas and our communities that are taking the brunt of this now. We started off talking about black people can't get this shit. A month later, we find out check this out. I don't know if any of y'all math majors, but I'll just use Wisconsin as an example. They say Wisconsin, African Americans make up 14% of the state, right? Of the population. They're 14% of the population. I think they said they were like over 30-some% of the cases and like 40% of the deaths that were being reported. Almost half the deaths are African Americans, 14% of the population, right? So we find this out. They get the brown guy to go up there and say, y'all need to stop smoking, stop drinking, and stop, you know, and do it for your, he says, do it for your mammies, do it for your abuelas. He says, do it for Big Mama, you know what I mean? Come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. That's the other doctor, right? The third doctor we have here is Mr. Fauci. Now, Mr. Fauci, I don't know, he kind of looks kind of haggard in that picture to me right there. And he's looked pretty haggard to be all through it, but he's a cool cat, right? To me, he seems to be the only legit guy up there who's really concerned about saving this country, man, and not having a billion people die here, right? So what I'm watching him do is navigate between having to not necessarily out and out just undermine the president and his bullshit, and also, he's trying not to cross this line. He's trying to teeter this line of informing you, giving you the shit you need to know to stay alive, but not making the president look bad, even though he does a good enough job of that himself, right? So this is his dream team, right? And then, I see this. If this didn't terrify me bad enough, I guess he decided that the next, a few days later, that he had to add this dude here. This fuck. Now, see, I haven't figured out how to add the video just yet, or else I would have played the video of him talking about, look, the state, what do you say, the Federal Reserve, that's our stock, that's ours, like a little spoiled ass bitch. Dude, Trump, what the fuck are you doing, man? This shit is serious, man, and you don't get this. You getting ready to kill people, bruh. You don't understand what's going on. You might want to get that motherfucker right there. You should move him out the way right now. This is not time to test that dude out. This is not that time, man. Like, he's taking this whole thing. Look, it's all politics all the time with this dude. Even in the face of danger, even in the face of billions of people dying, right? It is still politics with this cat. I don't know if y'all paying attention, but we have to stay home. He don't want us to mail in ballots. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't want us to mail in ballots. He just took I don't know a bazillion fucking dollars and he put it away. He fired the motherfucker who's supposed to be making sure that he's doing the right thing with this money, So he's getting ready to line his pockets. You know what I'm saying? He's getting ready to line his pockets. And you know what I think he's going to do? This is what I think he's going to do. You know what? I'll get to that in a minute. Right? Because through all of this shit, this is the other motherfucker that you see every day. You know what? And I'm not even going to call him a motherfucker because this dude is legit. Y'all check him out. I know y'all been watching him every day. Governor Andrew Cuomo, New York State. Now, this guy also, I'm watching him teeter a hell of a line. Now, you know what? I know I wouldn't be a good politician because I can't bullshit very well, right? But this dude here, I'm not even calling him a bullshitter. What I'm watching him do, I'm watching him not be overly critical of Trump, but criticize him and also praise him when need be. You see what I'm saying? He's teetering this line. He won't really get into it with him, you know what I'm saying? But he won't get into the political thing with him either. You know what I'm saying? He's just kind of being real. But in the midst of that, what he's sitting there doing is leading his people. You know why? Because the other fucked up thing that the president is doing, I said he's shirking his responsibility, right? Let's not even talk about the fact that he ignored the warnings for fucking 4 months before it got here. It didn't even have to be here, except he ignored the warnings, right? So after the fact, now he's ignored the warnings. Now he won't even mobilize the federal government to help the country. He's leaving it on the governors in the states whose powers is pretty limited. I want y'all to understand that now. There's not but so much that these governors can do. He's leaving it on these governors to kind of fend for themselves. So in the face of that, you got Cuomo, who every day he comes up here, he tells his people the hard truths. He tells them with that typical New York demeanor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I dig his that Italian New York demeanor. I dig how he gets up there and he's just so no nonsense. He tells you what it is. You know, he doesn't run from the truth. You know, and then he also knows how to still, despite of all of this chaos, still just make y'all feel like, look, man, you know, it is what it is, but everything's gonna be okay. You know, this dude has been a leader through all of this, man. This dude has been a total leader through all of this. So I tell you what, I gotta give it up to Cuomo, I didn't really know much about Cuomo until I started seeing him on the screen through this shit right here. You know what I mean? But what I know about him from watching him over the last month or so, man, this dude right here, this is a leader. This honestly is the guy that I wish was running the fucking country right now. But I guess I'm not so fortunate right here, man. And the contrast between these cats, man. The contrast between these two, man. You know, like, you know, it's not but so much to be said about the fact that you have allowed this many people to suffer from this thing, man, because of a few reasons that I can see. His ego gets in the way of him saying, I don't know this shit, so I should pass it on to someone who knows better, right? His ego gets in the way of that, right? And then he has this thing where he can't put his self-interest aside from nothing, not no situation, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, crises like this, they expose people. You know what I'm saying? Like leaders, they expose your character, right? They expose all leaders' character. Situations like this, right? So you got one dude over here who thinks he's gonna bullshit his way through it and try to find a way to take a political advantage of it, and you got the other dude over here who's just no nonsense and you know and is gonna do what he got to do to lead his people, man. And no matter how dire the circumstances, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the contrast that you have between the president of the United States and the governor of New York State, man. So, like I said, hey, Governor Cuomo, you know, if you ever happen to listen to this shit here, you know what I'm saying? If you decide to run for president any day, bro, you got my vote. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do some investigating, though, to make sure that you don't have no scandals or anything behind you, man. Make sure that I ain't just fuck myself up giving you my endorsement all early and shit. But if you do decide to run for president, I got you, bro. You got my vote. That's for sure. But that's what we dealing with, man. So, yeah, Trump is leaving it on the governors. And again, his politics, he can't put his politics aside, right? So, two things, right, that I heard him say that fucked me up. The first one was he says, look, this is politics never trump, you know, you never trump politics with this guy, right? It's all politics all the time, right? So we don't know what's going on. We got all these cases blowing up. He tells Mike Pence, he says, I told Mike Pence, if they ain't nice to me, that woman, he said this woman here, Gretchen Whitmer, she's the governor of Michigan, right? Another one, left to fend for herself. All these governors left to fend for themselves. No backing from the federal government whatsoever, right? This woman, don't call that woman back. Now, all I can do is facepalm on that one, right? You know, that was the first thing that fucked me up. This woman here, another one, who has shown incredible leadership. Every morning, she's behind the podium or behind the table. She's giving her people the cold, hard facts, how they're going to be, you know, but also she's giving them the cold, hard facts, letting them know how bad this is, but she's also not making it all doom and gloom. You know, she knows her people are scared, you know, and I'm sure she has no idea how she's going to handle this situation on her own, but she's not shirking her responsibility. She's not running. She's doing what she has to do. In spite of the attacks that she's getting from the guy who's supposed to be helping her, man. The guy who's supposed to be helping her, man. You know, this guy here, Mr. Dr. Evil, this fuckwad. Yeah, that guy right there. Why is he? Come on, bruh. Why are you doing this to these folks? You know, that was the first thing. The other thing that he said that fucked me up, one of the reporters asked him, he said, so can you guarantee, he asked him, he said, will you guarantee that New York is going to have the ventilators that they need, you know, if they run out, and New Yorkers are in danger of dying? Are you going to guarantee that? He says, no, they should have done more. He said though that word for word. Go back and find the video. I'm not making that up. If I was sitting in front of him, I say, Mr. President, that's an I quote. You said that word for word. No, they should have done more, bruh. I think it was 18,000 people dead at this point. I last saw, man. Politics needs to be put aside. And I'll tell you another thing that really fucks me up about this, right? He's playing politics and trying to figure out how to secure his election in a dastardly way while the country is vulnerable, right? And what fucks me up about it is it's like, bruh, if you would just show some heart right now and just do what you gotta do, I'm pretty sure you could put your re-election right in the bag. But his ego can't even allow him to do that. You know what I'm saying? His ego, like, to me, the easy thing would be in this situation, it will be to do what I gotta do to try to back the people up, back my governors up, back these states up, and make sure that I do what I gotta do to save these people. It seemed like that would be the easy thing to do. And if you did that right now, President Trump, I'm pretty sure. You know what? I ain't gonna say that because I don't want you to hear me say that and do the. No. You know what? That's the conflict that he leaves you with. You know what I'm saying? I almost want to say I don't want to see you do the right thing, but that's not what I want to see. I want you to do the right thing, bruh. And if you did the right thing, I guarantee you would be back in office. But your fucking ego gets in the fucking way, man. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you what gave it away, he ignored this shit until the economy tanked, which takes us into the next part of this whole thing. Oh, gracious. Man. What was it as of today? I think 17 million people have signed up for unemployment. I know specifically people who have been trying to sign up who can't even log into the fucking thing because it's so backlogged. The site is crashing. They keep getting redirected. And it's maddening, bro. It's maddening. They passed this stimulus package and they can't even get that figured out, man. They can't even get that figured out. So on top of the fact that we're in this situation where we can't even go outside because you might die some shit, on top of that shit, you have to sit in the house. Most of the people that's sitting at home are sitting at home broke now. Broke because they can't go to work. You know what that means? They can't get no food. They can't pay no bills. They can't pay rent. They can't do none of that. Oh, guess what? Speaking of rent, let's go back to the zombie fuck. Speaking of rent, the zombie fuck, you know, he owns a few, I think he's like a slumlord or some shit. He owns some buildings or some shit. He's pressing people up for rent. This fuckwad. You know what I'm saying? These are the fuckers that got elected to the fucking office, man. These fucks. And let me explain something to you. We in this situation for one reason. For a number of reasons, but this reason right here is the most dear to me. Now, I don't vote shame. It's your right to vote or not vote. That's your right. You do that if you wish. You know what I'm saying? And I would not shame you for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them cats. But I will say this. I will say this much. If you haven't paid attention the last 3.5 years to what's been going on to this country with this fucking guy who conned his way into office, if you ain't been paying attention and seeing where this country is like that for a few reasons, but this reason is most dear to me. Folks, we stayed home, man. We stayed home. Most of the Obama coalition stayed home, and the ones who didn't, who wasn't feeling Hillary, they casted their votes for Trump because they hated Hillary so much, man. And that's how this man got in office. And despite all of that, he still got 2 million votes less than Hillary by hand-to-hand count. He still got 2 million votes less. You see what I'm saying? But the way this system is set up, the way that electorate is set up to where if we stay home, the motherfucker that we gonna hate gets in the office every time that we stay home. When we get our asses up and go vote, our candidate gets in by a landslide every time we get out and vote. That should tell you something, man. That should tell you something. Your vote does mean something. You gotta get up and go do it. Because if you don't go do it, we're gonna get another motherfucker like this in office, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see another motherfucker like this in office. I don't even want to see him get no more another 4 years. If he gets another 4 years, God knows where the fuck we're gonna be, bruh. God knows. We might not ever come back from this coronavirus. The way I see it, he could give a fuck if a few of these states fucking disintegrate from the map of with corona. He could give a damn, especially if they didn't vote for him. He could give a damn. That's where he's at with it, bro. So we get another 4 years of this cat, we might not survive. You know what I'm saying? We already, our communities, we're already the ones dying from this shit, mostly. You know what I'm saying? So that right there probably also gives him a little more incentive to not give much of a fuck, man. So keep that in mind, man. Next time it's time to go to the ballots, man, in November, man. We got to get this motherfucker out of there, dog. I don't give a fuck who the other guy is at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could give a goddamn. Man, I'm telling you, it could be Peter Griffin fucking on the other end of that ballot, man. I'm voting for that motherfucker, dog. I don't care, dog. I don't care. I can't do it again, man. I can't do another 4 years of this, bro. You know, like I said, it was kind of comedy for a minute, but at this point, shit got real, bro. Look at all these people that died, man. Look at this, man. This is more than Katrina and 9/11 put together, bro. He's gonna wear this shit on his presidency, man. I don't give a fuck how he tries to shirk it. And that's the other thing I see him trying to do. You know what? Where's the crew at again? Let me go find where's the crew at again? The task force. The fucking task force. Look, this is the spin crew. That's what that is. That's all that is. Besides Mr. Fauci up there and, you know, Dr. Birx, you know, she tried to get into the Trump the spin cycle for a minute until she seen how real it was, you know what I mean? But now what I realize about her, she don't really have too much to say, you know what I mean? You can ask her any question, she's just gonna get up there and just give you a whole bunch of data. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit what question you ask her. You know what I mean? You could ask her, where'd you get that dress from, Dr. Birx? She's going to say, oh, well, you know, what we looked at is the data of this and blah, 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 blah. Every time. She got nothing good to say. And the rest of it, that's the spin crew, man. Y'all better listen to Dr. Fauci. He's the only credible guy up there who and I ain't going to say this about Dr. Birx. It's not that she wants to see y'all die. You know what I mean? She's giving you as much helpful information, I guess, as she feels like she can give you, you know, but she really ain't trying to get in Trump's way either. So, you know, and what I peeped about her is she just really don't have much to say. She just got stats for you. So that's all you're going to get from her, right? Dr. Fauci, that's who y'all should listen to, man. You know, he's the crusader up there. I can tell. The rest of them, you know, that's the spin crew, man. That's what they're there for, man. They're there to spin whatever Donald Trump wants them to spin. So that's what they're going to be doing, man. And we don't want another 4 years of this, man. I can't take it, bro. I can't take no more. Shit was funny for a minute, but shit just got real. And this will be the crew that will be looking out for you for another 4 years. If y'all don't get y'all's ass up and go vote, man, I guarantee you it'll happen again. I guarantee you. But I tell you what, the one silver lining that I've been trying to take out of this whole thing, though, y'all, is this. I said this earlier. Crises like this, these are tests. These are true tests of a leader's character right here, man. And he is failing. He's failing so bad that I hardly even see any people on social media defending him anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I see a post on Twitter, Starchildjr 78 on Twitter, mind you, if y'all looking for me. But when I see one of his posts on, when I see somebody post something political on Twitter now, all you see in the reply section is a bunch of people that are, that are co-signing, and now you see like one person out there trying to get in the mix and trying to defend him, or maybe like a bot or something like that here and there. You know what I mean? Like one every 20. Fuck Trump. Fuck him. He sucks. Da, 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 da. Like one every 20 of those. Then you see somebody in there when you used to be seeing a whole bunch of like intense debates about this shit. But like all I'm seeing is like even the people who drunk the Trump tea in the beginning because they didn't like Hillary. He's losing them fuckers, because one thing I say about those voters, at least they got sense. He got a base of folks though who, I ain't trying to offend nobody, man, but you know what? I ain't putting no pictures up of the type of people that I think is Trump's base because I don't want to offend nobody, but I'm gonna get to that later. Any of y'all watch the Ozark? Yeah, the Trailer Park Cats. Yeah, that's Trump's base right there. Like they ain't trying to be educated. They just gonna whatever he say, they gonna be like, yeah, Trump said this, so that's what it is. Trump said that, that's what it is. They don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna change their mind. They gonna go down with Trump, and they keep it up. They gonna all die listening to Trump and his medical advice. Oh, real quick before I get out of here, I'm gonna go about 10 more minutes and I'm gonna get out of here. But real quick before I get off of this topic right here, though, this is the other thing I wanted to touch on. I almost forgot about. Right, this is the other thing. And any of y'all Trump supporters happen to be listening to me, if you happen to be listening to me, I'm trying to save y'all right now. Don't take none of his medical advice, man. This man ain't no doctor, man. He's up here talking about, this is one thing that I have learned from these press briefings. I've learned about hydroxychloroquine and how to say that without stuttering on it now, because I've heard it so much. I can say that, hydroxychloroquine. I know this drug now, but you know what I know about this drug? This is what I learned about it after I heard about him, after I heard him touting it over and over and over and over again like he was a doctor. I learned that this is something that is for people that have lupus normally, and what was it, measles or something? I don't know, some other ailment, but lupus. Yeah, this is something that they prescribe to patients for lupus. And something that even Dr. Fauci keeps on every time Trump comes up there saying, y'all take the hydroxychloroquine. He runs right up there behind him and says, all right, now look, there ain't been no clinical trials on that. So, that we don't know nothing about what that's going to do. So he's trying to tell y'all, don't y'all go out there. That's not the wonder drug, no matter what Mr. Trump says. So any supporters out there listening to me, that happen to be listening to me, don't take this man's advice, man. But if you want to go ahead and take his advice, y'all go right on ahead, because then Trump is not going to have no electorate to vote for him in November, because they're all going to be dead of coronavirus listening to this fool, or dead of hydroxychloroquine poisoning or some shit. Man, these motherfuckers crazy, dog. That's all I can say about that, man. These motherfuckers crazy, and yeah, y'all better tighten up out there, man. Y'all better make sure y'all stay y'all's asses in the house, man. I know the weather getting ready to break, and it's breaking already in certain places that y'all are, wherever some of y'all are, the weather's breaking. The parks are looking all inviting and this, that, and the third. But y'all better listen to the doctors, man. The doctors is telling y'all the Rona is still out there. And if y'all go out there acting all willy-nilly like ain't nothing going on, we ain't gonna never get rid of this shit, man. And they gonna have these stay-at-home orders and businesses all shut down all through the summer. And then what's gonna happen? The economy is gonna tank so bad that all these little spots that y'all like to go to, man, these little lounges and restaurants and little bars and places that y'all like to go to and check out music and have drinks and eat nice food and all of that shit gonna be gone, bruh. It's gonna be gone, bruh. So y'all pay attention, man, to what's going on, man. I know it's depressing to keep on hearing this shit, but we ain't got no sports. They, even sports had to shut down because of the Rona, bruh. So y'all should know it's serious if we can't even get no sports. You know what I mean? So take heed, y'all. For real. It ain't a game out this motherfucker. The Rona is real. You know what I mean? And if we had some sports, I would talk some sports on my show too. But since we don't have no sports, we got no sports talk on this show. But enough about the Rona. I hope y'all ain't depressed by my first podcast. I hope y'all are feeling a little more informed. That was my point. And to, try to lighten the mood up a little bit. Let me light my joint back up or some shit. I don't know. I'm gonna move on to one thing before I get out of here. I got about 5 more minutes left, and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna move on to entertainment. How about that? Specifically, media, movies, TV. Y'all sitting home in quarantine land. You got nothing else to do, right? Except for watch a whole bunch of TV, right? So I'm gonna suggest a few things to y'all. First and foremost, this is the first thing I'm gonna suggest is this one right here. Yeah, y'all know you can check this out on demand as of today, the Trolls World Tour. And you know why I want y'all to check this one out, right? Because this one is a little bit near and dear to me, because my boss man George Clinton is in this fucking film, man. He's not actually physically in it, but he's doing a voice characterization of one of the characters in this film, as well as a few songs contributed to the soundtrack. So y'all go check out that soundtrack, and y'all go check this movie out. Check it out right now, man. As soon as after you tune off from this podcast, go check this out, man. It's on demand right now. You can watch it now. You know why you can watch it now? Because there's no movie theaters open. It was supposed to be in the movie theaters, but Rona fucked it up, man. Rona fucking up everything, y'all. This shit fucked up. But if you, I know you ain't, I ain't gonna say if you ain't doing nothing else, because y'all ain't doing nothing else. So check out Trolls World Tour. George Clinton, my boss man, is in there. Mary J. Blige, Justin Timberlake, to name a few. This shit's probably gonna be cool, man. I'm gonna check it out myself, man. Y'all check out the Trolls World Tour, alright? You see, even the troll is throwing the funk sign, so you know it's gonna be about it. And then I'm gonna suggest another one to y'all, right? Before I get out of here. So this next one, right? Oh, whoops, wrong scene. Look, I told y'all, it's my first one, man. So y'all bear with me. Let me black that out. The quick promo though, thefunkstar.com. Go subscribe. So this next one. So look, these series that I get into, I got this thing where I don't ever pick up on a series until it's like in its 3rd or 4th season or some shit, right? And it's usually always the one that everybody's always talking about. So I'm gonna try to put y'all up on this one if y'all aren't already, but I'm assuming that most of y'all are up on it already. I just watched the first 2 seasons of this shit, and I'm getting into season 3. This shit right here, Ozark. This shit right here, if y'all like Breaking Bad, this shit, it's kind of like a Breaking Bad kind of a feel on this thing, man. It's this thing where it's starring Jason Bateman. If y'all are like my age or older, y'all probably know who Jason Bateman for a long time. He was in Silver Spoons with Ricky Schroeder when he was a little kid. He was in this show called The Hogan Family, where he was like the teenage troublemaking kid and shit. You know what I mean? And he's done a lot of shit lately, man. He's a pretty good actor. He's got like this square head. He's a funny dude, like this wide jawline now in his old age, but he's a good actor. And he stars in this. And Laura Linney, I'm familiar with her from, she was in this show, The Big C. I used to watch this show. I'm sure a lot of y'all probably aren't familiar with that show, but I used to watch this show too, The Big C. Came out years ago. And Laura Linney was starring in that. So these are the stars, and essentially, Jason Bateman plays like this. He's like a financial advisor or a financial manager or something like that, and essentially he's working for this firm that's laundering money for this cartel, and essentially he's living in Chicago. But now his partner in the firm is his buddy, is stealing money from the cartel dude. So the cartel dude kills his buddy. And in order to not kill Jason Bateman's character, Jason Bateman's character agrees to move to, I don't know if this place even exists for real, if it's fictional or not, but it's the Ozarks in Missouri, supposed to be like this backwood, like lake, kind of like country town or some shit, right? In the middle of the sticks, essentially. But he agrees to move to the sticks and essentially just buy into businesses to continue to launder the cartel's money. But he's like this straight and narrow guy, you know what I'm saying? So that's where the Breaking Bad feel kind of comes along. It's like this straight and narrow dude who gets tied up with this cartel, and now all of a sudden he has to become ruthless in order to survive. So it's just pretty dope, man. So yeah, man, if y'all get a chance, and I know y'all not doing nothing else, y'all go check out Ozark, man. That joint is pretty dope, man. And other than that, that's going to conclude the first Starchild Jr. Stuffs and Things podcast. I want to thank y'all that joined me. I had a good time doing this. I made a couple of little mistakes, but it's all good. Y'all bear with me. It's going to get better. It's going to start to look better, too, as I get to know this equipment that I'm using. But y'all know how that go. It's all good. I got nothing but time. I'm in quarantine land like you are, so I'm going to figure this out. In the meantime, if you're not on the YouTube, y'all go to the Starchild Jr. YouTube page and subscribe. If you're on YouTube watching this, then you go to thefunkstar.com. That's my website. You could watch this podcast there as well, live and in archive. The same way you would do on YouTube. And you can find me on Instagram at Starchildjr. You can find me on Facebook, and I'm also on Twitter at Starchildjr78. And I think that covers it, man. I got all types of cool merch at my website and some cool videos and pics up there. And that's a legacy page, so you can find out a little bit about my dad, too. Mr. Gary Shider, one of the greatest Funkadelics of all time. The guy who used to wear the diaper. My fucking inspiration, my fucking idol. One of the best that ever did it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all go check out some of that shit. So for me, my producer DJ Lance Reynolds, my sound producer over there spinning the cool music, y'all go check him out online as well at DJ Lance Reynolds on Instagram, and I think on Twitter too. Yeah, y'all go check out at DJ Lance Reynolds, and he's on Facebook. All right, that's it for me, man. I'm signing off. I had fun. I'm gonna see y'all again on Friday, man. Same time. We're gonna do it again. Alright, y'all be cool.